potassium, calcium, magnesium, an essential part of my game.
Bruh. What's up, Dwight? What you got in the bag? Big Mac, fries? I'll play you for it.
I love America so much, I'm making an all-American Jack combo. 2 jumbo patties with melting cheese, lettuce, tomato, and pickles, plus fries and a drink for only $4.99.
Oh, I'm so ready for this recession to be over.
Here's an idea. We make them fresh, you eat them fresh. Sun chips. We make
now
into every...
Mornings, for some reason, I don't eat breakfast, so we can get rid of breakfast. Lunch, porterhouse steak, maybe T-bone steak with corn, mashed potatoes, heavy gravy. That was just my lunch. And then you can figure out maybe 2 hours later I was hungry again. I'd have, I don't know, bread. I had so many things throughout the day. And then I wouldn't eat again till maybe dinner time. Dinner time would be sometimes maybe Jack in the Box, Carl's Jr., anything that was fast food. Give or take 3,000 to 4,000 calories just on a dinner. So I was consuming maybe 9,000 calories per day. Zero mobility. I would not walk around, I would not do anything simply because I was just lazy.
Well, fast food is basically a lot of sugar and a lot of fat. And that can lead to diabetes, cardiovascular disease, obesity, especially in children. We're seeing such an obesity epidemic right now, which is really sad to say, but those are some of the causes of fast food.
You know, there were cycles of, you know, the proverbial boom and bust. So there is this element of preference for sweet foods, and for fatty foods it's the same exact thing, and it has to do with our biological urges, if you will, to just eat enough food to survive. And if you think about what fast food is, it's salty, it's fatty, and it's sweet, so it just triggers all of those physiological reactions.
I'm one of the few that I could say I'm considered myself blessed, because there's produce, I have options. It's just, you know, you're stubborn. Those that want it, those that want it don't have it, and those that have it don't want it. So I would opt out to drive it. 2 blocks away we have a Burger King. I would go drive, and like 3 blocks away we have a McDonald's. I'd frequently go down and just get that.
I'd say number one, it's popular because it's advertised, and advertising creates a tremendous demand. People, you know, are bombarded with messages that say fast food is good, fast food is fun, so they buy into those images.
I think it does start at a younger age, and that's just basically your family, how you're raised. If they were raised into the fast food culture, then you most likely would be raised in the fast food culture. But also in today's society with economical issues, you know, fast food is much cheaper.
I mean, the fact that fast food is so inexpensive, it's an easy sell in lower income neighborhoods. Also, lower income people tend to be less well educated specifically about nutritional issues. So they are not making, because they lack information, they're not making the same kinds of choices that maybe somebody who was better educated about nutritional issues. Also, there's the economics that drive out the supermarkets, or even you know, smaller scale markets. That's a really cutthroat business. I mean, the margins aren't really high in those businesses, and they actually make most of their money truthfully selling processed food, not, you know, fresh, you know, unprocessed foods. But the big corporate supermarkets have been very reluctant to go into low-income areas.
In one of our studies, we did ask Asian Americans to remember back to when they were kids, and whether, you know, they ever had instances that they were embarrassed by their foods at home, or you know, they wanted what everybody else had in their lunch, you know, and we got the majority of Asian Americans, it was 68%, to say that they remembered a time, and remembered several times, when they were embarrassed by their food. So the fact that it was the majority of our sample suggests to me that this is something that happens across the board to more than just one socioeconomic class. By the time immigrants have been in this country for 15 years, their their weight is pretty close to the average American's weight. So it seems like they come to this country a little bit healthier and lighter, and then by 15 years they've gained weight, and then their children are, in many cases, just as likely to be overweight as the children of native-born Americans.
Now, in the United States, the fast food industry created a sort of pressure to make the production of meat cheaper and turn farms into factories, and so that's why they're called factory farms. So what these factory farms do, they concentrate thousands and thousands of livestock animals, whether they're pigs, cows, chickens, in small concentrations where they're raised, and in order for these animals to grow faster and fatter and healthier, they use antibiotics to prevent from any infections, and steroids. But what's going on? These antibiotics and these steroids are impacting our health as we consume this really cheap meat. Now, wrappings, the same thing. Some of those wrappings are manufactured with styrofoam, and styrofoam is a really dangerous product. You go to a fast food place, a hamburger place, and they give you really hot French fries or onion rings. They put them on this styrofoam package. Well, the heat from these fries that just came out of the fryer or these onion rings, it causes the styrofoam to start to melt. It's actually leaching into the food, and eventually it goes into your body, and so now a huge percentage of the U.S. population has traces of the chemicals that are used to manufacture that styrofoam.
Truthfully, the third thing is it's much cheaper to eat fast food than it is to eat healthy food, and that's a direct result of U.S. government policy that gives subsidies to farmers who grow things like corn, for example. So that what you pay at the fast food restaurant for, say, your Coke or your Pepsi or whatever sweet thing, you know, or even the corn-fed beef in your burger, that actually doesn't reflect the real cost of that product. There's a government subsidy in everything that you consume from a fast food restaurant, whereas there is no government subsidy, ironically, for an apple or for lettuce or a carrot or something like that. And this is a real, you know, big issue today. I mean, I think government policy has to change. I mean, I think that the people who should get government subsidies, the kinds of farmers who get government subsidies, should be the small-scale farmers who are growing lettuce and beans and healthy foods. Not the people, who, you know, the mega industrial farmers who are growing millions and millions of acres of corn. So, you know, that's one piece of it. You never see, or almost never see, truly healthy food in the sense of unprocessed food advertised. When was the last time you saw a straight ad for carrots or apples or something like that? You don't. You know, I mean, you see advertisements for processed foods and fast foods. So, you know, we could change that message.
But I'm a strong believer in moderation. So if you have, you can eat anything that you wish to. Just have it in moderation. Don't have, you know, burgers every single day, but let's say once a month you want to have a hamburger. That's okay. But if you want to have a hamburger at home, make it yourself, even better. Because then you can go to the market and you can do less fat. You can, you know, say, oh, this has only 20% fat, and then take it home and you know what you put into it. So that would be even better.
Yeah. For a person that constantly eats fast food, try little by little. Try to substitute certain meals. Like if you're for lunch, like today I had a banana. I mean, granted, it's not as tasty as a Big Mac or a Whopper, but if you can go away with having a banana that has like 90 calories as opposed to maybe 600-700 calories, slowly start changing and give it a shot. You never know if you